Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we are at Clash Endurance Miami, and a young lady who I have never had the chance to meet before, Lisa Becharas, joins us, ranked number 65 in the world.
Apparently.
Yes, you are. I did my research.
You did.
Racing for the U.S. and 2021. I mean, it's funny. We were just chatting beforehand. I look at this. You did 5 half Ironmans, so 70.3s.
Yeah.
And then you were 11th at Challenge Miami, this spot. So obviously you like this place.
I like this
but
place.
That's
yeah.
basically 6 half marathons. Close, right? 5 half marathons, another one. No professional runner is racing 5 half marathons in a year.
They are not.
No. What the heck's wrong with you people?
I don't know. I'm just trying to do half of what, the
other
Sky.
idiots are doing.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
these people who are racing back-to-back Ironmans and 70.3 Worlds to an Ironman. Yeah. So I'm just trying to do half as much as they do.
So growing up in Chicago, how do you go from that to craziness like triathlon?
Well, in high school, my whole life I've played sports.
Okay.
Whether just growing up, my whole life has been revolved around sports.
Right.
And in college, I ran cross country and track at a small Division III university. And when I was there, I kind of fell in love with coaching. And then I was a graduate assistant coach at Illinois Wesleyan University for 5.5 years. So, and then
coaching track and field.
Coaching track and field and cross country. Yep.
Yes.
And when I was doing that, after I finished my master's degree, all my other friends were the other graduate assistants from other sports.
Yeah.
And they were all like, all right, well, I'm getting a job at this school in this state and this school in this state. And I was like, I'm going to be here all alone this summer? What am I going to do with all my time? So I signed up for a half Ironman.
So it's not like you went, I think I'll do a sprint and then I'll go into an Olympic. No, you go big.
Yep. I was like, I don't know what this is. And when I signed up, I didn't have a bike. So I was like, Mom and Dad, can I borrow money for a bike?
And they're like, sure, not a problem.
Yeah.
And what type? Did the bike have a kickstand? What type? Did you get a real bike?
They made me take the reflector things on the wheels that I went to the bike shop and they're like, you got to take those off.
That's
but
so
I
much weight. Yeah.
I bought like a used, I think it was like $500 like Cannondale,
love it,
like aluminum road bike, and I put those clip-on aero bars on. And
perfect.
Yeah, it's how I think everyone should get into the sport of triathlon. To be honest,
actually,
it's like a very humbling experience.
You're right.
Yeah.
My bike was a $75 bike from a police auction.
Exactly.
In a fire. Who cares, right? Whole back end was charred.
It's better memories.
It does. So so you go out, and how'd you do in that first race?
I won my age group,
which is pretty amazing.
It was. I just remember because the pro women. It was at Steelhead, up in Michigan, and the run loop it's a 2-loop course. And I remember right when I got on the run, there were some of the pro women were trickling by, and I remember running the first 2 miles with some of the pro women, and I was like, this is amazing, and I ended up walking part of that race.
Because you went a little hard.
Yep.
But that shows that you weren't scared of the moment. You weren't going, oh, this is too hard. You were like, hey, I'll just run as long as I can for as hard as I can.
Yeah, I'm good at epic blow-ups.
Which you have to have. I've been telling Magnus Ditliff, right? Yeah. You don't win a race. We have a lot of athletes that you'll see over the years that they come off the bike in 23rd place and they run their way to 8th, and you keep thinking they're going to win the race. But no, they're always going to do that because you got to go off the front to find out what you got.
Exactly.
All right?
And pretty soon you're going to learn where that line is.
What you can do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So as you do that first one and you finish your age group, so you're probably going, this is pretty fun. I think I'll do more.
Oh, after that race, I told my parents that I'm not doing a half Ironman distance for a long time.
And how long was it before you did the next one?
3 years.
So you were true.
I was true. I was like, I remember finishing the run hunched over, and I don't think I ate it. I mean, you do all the rookie mistakes I did.
Oh, yeah.
But I did a lot of sprints in Olympics, but I would only swim and bike in the summertime, and I would just run year round.
Yes.
And I was like, what's an indoor bike trainer?
Right.
And why am I swimming in the winter? I didn't understand
indoors,
that.
Indoors in a pool? Pools are outdoors.
Exactly.
That's what it's for.
Exactly.
I understand you. I get it. I get what you're. So when did it get to the point where it went beyond being just for fun, where you thought, I can be good at this?
About 2017, I was like, I would win most of the local races in Central Illinois, and I had a couple local people from tri clubs that were chirping in my ear, you should go pro. I'm like, what? No, I don't think so. And then the more they kept saying it, the more I started to believe it, and then it kind of came to fruition I kind of took the sport more seriously, and I kind of wanted to see what I could do at the next level. So I took my elite racing license or pro card in 2018 and got my butt handed to me all year.
Totally different, right?
Oh my gosh. The most humbling experience was that first pro race, and
Which race was it?
Texas 70.3.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the year that it was very cold, so I remember like being in T2 and I had to like bite my helmet off because I couldn't use my fingers to unclip it.
And that's after the bike ride.
Yeah.
So you were still frozen.
I was still frozen.
After swimming and the bike.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, that was a very humbling experience because I finished and I was like, what am I doing at this pro level? Like I don't belong here. And so that year was like, a roller coaster.
Up and down. Yeah.
And
then all of a sudden, when did things turn where you felt like, okay, I can be good at this?
The beginning of 2019, I had a solid race at, again, Texas 70.3. Or the last couple of races in 2018, I started to click a little bit more. But 2019, I was like, oh, I could be okay. And I think I earned some of my first like PTO points in races before the PTO was a thing. But and then I was hurt.
Yeah. Now tell me about that. You ended up having surgery.
Yes, the beginning of 2020, but it took pretty much 9 months of 2019 to figure out what was going on.
What was it?
It was chronic exertional compartment syndrome in my lower right leg.
Oh, yuck.
It wasn't fun.
And you knew every time you went out. Because I look at the 2019 and I see DNFs. Yeah. Like you were like the DNF queen, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're Waco 70.3, Santa Cruz 70.3, Boulder 70.3, Santa Rosa 70.3, Coeur d'Alene 70.3, and Gulf Coast 70.3, and then you finished 10th at 70.3 Texas.
Yes.
But that's a lot of DNFs. But you going into those races, you knew you were just going to swim, bike, done.
Yes.
Right? You weren't going to run because you had compartment. But what did you gain from that? Because sometimes you learn how to ride harder because you know you're not going to run.
Yes.
Then that carries over.
Yes. I learned, to be honest, and the only reason I DNF'd all those because I was going to be at those races already for work.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that. You were living in a van.
Yes, I was living in a van for work, traveling from expo to expo to expo. And in my head, I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to save so much money. I'm already going to be at the race.
Right.
Working in an expo before you try to race anything is a terrible idea, number one.
Nobody's going to try it,
No, don't try it.
Right. Nobody's going to try a new product before a race. Especially, it's one thing if you're going to an Olympic thing, but if you're not going to a 70.3, no.
Yeah, but it's also just like working an expo on your feet for like 2 days before the race and then trying to race it. It's so hard. It's exhausting. But I learned a lot of lessons that year. But so just being at the races and having the opportunity to swim hard and bike hard, and I just gained so much more experience, like pack swimming and getting on the bike and just hammering and kind of proving to myself that I can bike. I'm not the greatest swimmer out there. I usually don't make the front pack of the swim.
But the second pack.
Yeah. And if I kind of taught myself that I can bike myself into the lead pack, which is the biking is my strength. I love to bike. If I could only do one thing, it would be biking.
Okay. And you took the reflectors off.
I took the reflectors off.
Good,
yes. But so that was actually a really, really valuable year for me in 2019.
Okay. And then, like we talked about all the 70.3s you did, but you had a really good year in 2021 because you were 21st at Worlds and 6th at Timberman and 9th at Des Moines and 7th at Florida, 8th at Texas, 11th here in Challenge Miami. I mean, you look back at that year and go, I was really consistent all year long.
I mean, when you look at results, it always tells one story.
Right.
But for me, I started off last year with like a bang, and it just fizzled out. Like by the end of the year, I was gonna race until Challenge Daytona, and I just pulled the plug after 70.3 Worlds.
Well, look at all the racing you did. That's a lot of half marathons to run.
I know.
The swim and the bike is one thing, but that many half marathons.
Yeah. Why don't they ever cancel the run?
No,
they cancel the swim sometimes. Why don't they cancel the run?
Exactly. And then the other part of that is that you were coming off of a surgery.
Yeah.
And then running 6 half marathons is nuts.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, that is. So for this, you're back. You're 11th last year here. What did you learn from last year that you take into this year?
I freaking love this race.
It's pretty cool.
I feel like it's like built for me outside of the fact that it's 90 degrees and 100 degrees in here right now.
Yes.
I feel like this course is built for me. It's a technical bike course. It's a flat run, it's a flat bike, but I think it just favors power athletes.
It does, with the wind in the afternoon, and it's a road course with a lot of turns and a lot of, just a lot of, you have to, like a criterium, you have to power out of it. Yes.
Yeah. And I like that style of racing. Well, it's hard. You know what? It's really hard to get away from people on the bike here, though, because you can't get around the corner and get out of sight. You always come back into sight. So.
And there's too many, with the laps being so short,
yes.
you can't get away.
Yes.
And the run as well. You see where, you know, for someone who's a good runner, they're like, oh, I can see everybody I'm going after. But
coming.
For somebody else who's worried about someone catching from behind, it's like, they know exactly where I am. I can't get away.
You can't hide.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
So what, the rest of this year, what do you think?
So I'm going to go back to my roots. I'm going to do 2 Olympic distance races after this, this race. And I'm just going to be a little bit more, I'm only choosing races that I'm excited to go to this year.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what you should be.
Yeah. So for me, a lot of people are headed to Oceanside next, and it just doesn't excite me this year. So I'm going to skip that one and head to St. Anthony's, come back to beautiful Florida.
Exactly.
It's a really long flight from Boulder.
It is a long flight.
I mean, I've complained 4 hours, but like it's a long time to sit in the middle seat in the 30th row.
What the heck are you doing in the middle seat? Come on, book your stuff earlier.
I know. It's Spirit Airlines.
Oh, my God. Get back in the van.
I know. I'm not going to driven here.
So the experiences of, how long were you in that van?
8 months.
What was the weirdest experience you had?
There were a couple times where I didn't make it to a campground and I had to sleep in a Walmart parking lot. And
that's okay, right? They allow you to.
Yeah, they allow you to, but it's a little weird when you're like walking into the shop with your toothbrush and toothpaste in your hand and you're just going to the bathroom to brush your teeth in the morning. So
at Walmart.
Yeah, at Walmart, exactly. And people walking in. I mean, there's always characters.
The worst part is when they start knowing your name.
I know.
When they go, hey, Lisa, how are you doing today? We see you at Walmart every day.
Yeah, you're like, yep. Back again.
I'm back here. I need a new toothbrush.
A new toothbrush, toothpaste.
That is funny.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself? You haven't done a full yet.
I have not.
Good girl.
I know. I will do one eventually. Yeah. But I've talked to my coach Julie Dibbins about it, and I don't want to do a full until I'm like excited about it. Right. And I still work a full-time job. And
so what's your full-time job?
I still work for Certified Performance, the makers of Alt Red.
Okay.
So, and they're super awesome. I'm very flexible with training and racing, but it's a lot of training for a full. And I haven't proven to myself like durable enough to handle that run volume training yet.
I agree. Yeah, it's a lot of
run. It's a long time to exercise too. You miss at least 2 meals.
Always.
Yeah, at least 2. So I'm really only into races that I miss 1 meal at the current state of my life.
So that's the name of your book title. Missing 1 meal is okay. Missing 1 meal is okay.
It's okay. 2 meals too much.
No, I'm out. Exactly. I'm out at 2 meals. But see, you get to carry as many gels with you as you want.
Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna bring some gels for you for dinner tonight, and you're gonna you don't want to eat them.
No,
you can only have so many in your life. I think everyone has a lifespan of the amount of gels you can
stomach.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Lisa, what a pleasure to get to chat with you. I love your personality.
For having me.
And best of luck on Friday. And you like the idea of a Friday race? That we got the whole weekend to sort of celebrate.
I know, I do. I don't have to work on Friday.
Even
so
better.
there you go. I took the day off.
Best. Lisa Becharas has been our guest. You are the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Bob. I appreciate it. And next time I better have breakfast.
Next time we will have breakfast. See, it's just we finished up serving it. At 1:30. Sorry, we messed you. Yeah, so you were a couple minutes late. Sorry about that. Lisa Becharas has been our guest. Breakfast with Bob, and we will be right back. See ya.